It was supposed to be uninhabited. That's what the last orbital scan said before it shorted itself into slag and fell screaming into the atmosphere. Valdros IV wasn't just a death world. It was the sort of place that made other death worlds cancel their vacation plans. Razor storms howled across its burning plains. The sky was the color of dried blood. Sulfur geysers erupted without warning and occasionally aimed. Wildlife came in two settings, heavily armored or terrifyingly enthusiastic. And somewhere beneath that rust-colored sky, wrapped in a tangle of barbed roots and rebreather tubing, lay a woman who did not belong. Lyra Voss was barely conscious, half buried under the rubble of a camouflaged crawl shelter that had given up during last night's quake. Her left shoulder throbbed, probably dislocated, and her HUD blinked a pathetic 1% oxygen warning that felt more like a suggestion than a number. She squinted at the sky, spat out a mouthful of dust and muttered, "Morning already?" A shrieking chitter echoed through the air, followed by a low, wet growl. She rolled to her side and grabbed her spear. The thing that lunged from the trees was 9 feet of jointed death with mandibles sharp enough to sign legal documents. Lyra ducked its first swipe, slammed her shoulder into a tree to snap it back into place with a sickening pop, then rammed the spear under its thorax. The creature convulsed. Acid hissed. She screamed. Then silence. She stood panting, skin steaming where the blood had sprayed her, and grinned. Breakfast. 3 hours later, she was back inside the half-collapsed ruins of her drop zone. The wreck of a Terran survey pod lay tangled in root systems like an ancient scar. She kicked open a storage locker, pulled out a faded ration pack labeled Moral Support, chicken-flavored, and bit into it like it owed her money. Her voice was raw. "Tessari, you reading me?" No response. "Tessari, don't make me come up there and defragment your personality matrix again." There was a pause. Then 5 distinct voices crackled through her earpiece in rapid succession. Cheerful Tess. "Hi. You've reached the orbital relay formerly known as Tessari 5. Your query is very important to us." Paranoid Tess. What if she's compromised? What if she's one of them? Philosophical Tess. Isn't all consciousness compromise? Sarcastic Tess. Oh great, the stabby one's awake again. Lyra groaned. Patch me through to the uplink logs. I need to know if anyone else made it off Valdros before the last quake. Motherly Tess. Sweetheart, you need rest. I need answers. Static. Then data scrolled across her HUD, pieced together from the broken teeth of satellite fragments and ghost pings bouncing off the atmosphere like drunken bats. One line stopped her heart. Signal trace. Terran ID J94, confirmed active, last ping, 2 days ago, status en route. Her voice trembled. James. She hadn't said his name out loud in weeks. Not since the Council flagged him as subject of interest, and the skies above Valdros turned from hostile to crowded. Give me orbital telemetry, now. Cheerful Tess. Oh, you're gonna want to sit down for this. Philosophical Tess. No one truly sits. We merely fall in slow motion. Paranoid Tess. They're coming. They're coming. Lyra's eyes widened. A ship, a sleek shadow bleeding heat and intent, was descending fast. It wasn't Qatari. It wasn't Union. It was hunting. Her fingers moved on instinct. The spear went on her back, blade at her thigh, pulse pistol loaded. She took one last bite of ration bar and whispered, "Let's give them a welcome." She vanished into the trees. The land remembered her. It parted for her boots, swallowed her scent, cloaked her movement. Valdros IV had tried to kill her 1,000 times. Somewhere along the way, it had decided to let her stay. The intruder ship landed hard, sleek, black, council sigils overwritten with red slashes. Dropship doors hissed open. 4 soldiers emerged in full neural link armor, rifles humming with psionic current. Behind them floated a drone, smooth and silver, trailing tendrils of scanner light. A voice spoke through its comms, cold, bored, and malevolent. "This is Director Omral Jex. Subject, Lyra Voss. Priority, Alpha Retrieval. Genetic profile marked for decommission." She was already inside the perimeter. A whisper on the wind, a shadow that killed. The first soldier didn't scream. He just vanished, dragged backward into a crevice. The second turned and took her blade through the helmet. The drone pulsed, redirecting. "Subject is mobile. Engaging psi override." Lyra roared. Not human, not anymore. The air rippled around her as the drone fired a burst of neural energy. Her mind convulsed. Suddenly, she wasn't on Valdros. She was in a council interrogation room. Metal walls, cold light, Jex's voice echoing as if from the stars themselves. "You were designed to replace them, you know," he said smoothly. "Not to survive, to succeed." She blinked. "What is this?" "A psionic cage," Jex said. "We're inside your memory now. Tell me, Lyra, do you remember your purpose?" Then she laughed. Oh, it started small, just a twitch at the corner of her mouth, but it grew until it echoed off the walls. "What's so funny?" Jex demanded. She grinned. "You picked the wrong memory." Around them, the room shimmered, warped, became a kitchen, number A council cafeteria. Steam drifted from rows of bubbling food vats. Bureaucrats scurried past, clutching trays of slop. A vending machine nearby flashed the words, "Hot tea and existential dread available." "What is this?" She shrugged. "Welcome to the Department of Unscheduled Paperwork Emergencies." "Terminate this!" Too late. The vending machine sprang to life. A beam of light enveloped the psionic drone's mind avatar and began reading it the complete legal charter for post-Terran claim disputes, Volume 7 of 12. In real space, the drone screamed, its circuits overloaded. It exploded in a shower of harmless sparks. The remaining soldiers broke. One tried to flee. The forest swallowed him. Another fell to his knees. "Please," he whispered. "I didn't sign up for this." She leaned close, eyes glowing with something ancient. "No one ever does." When the last gunfire faded, Lyra stood alone again, bloody, breathing hard. Then a voice buzzed in her ear. "Cheerful Tess. Did we mention your boyfriend's in orbit?" Lyra blinked. "What?" Motherly Tess. "Well, he was, but now he's not." Sarcastic Tess. "He jumped back into Union space. Something about waking the dead." Lyra's throat tightened. "James, why didn't you tell me?" She reached for the sky, literally. "Patch me into the long-range beacon." Philosophical Tess. "What would you say to someone who might already be a memory?" Her voice cracked. "You tell him, I'm not done yet, and neither is Earth." Far above, the storm swelled. Below, Lyra Voss picked up the shattered remains of a drone core and smiled. Not because she won, but because someone finally noticed she was here. And that was going to be a problem. For everyone.